Hello again. Received a rather interesting message and I want to turn it into a video. The subject is Thomas Sowell. It's S-O-W-E-L-L. Most cogent arguments so far against SC-ACA decisions. Many people are looking at the recent Supreme Court decision about Obamacare and same-sex marriage in terms of whether they think these are good or bad policies. That is certainly a legitimate concern for both those who favor those policies and those who oppose them. But there is a deeper and more long-lasting impact of these decisions that raise the question whether we are still living in America, whether we the people are supported to decide what kind of society we want, not have our betters impose those notions on us. The Constitution of the United States says that the federal government has only those powers specifically granted to it by the Constitution, and that all other powers belong either to the states or to the people themselves. That is the foundation of our freedom, and that is what is being dismantled by both this year's Obamacare decision and last year's Obamacare decision, as well as by the Supreme Court's decision imposing a redefinition of marriage. Last year's Supreme Court decision declaring Obamacare constitutional says that the federal government can order individual citizens to buy the kind of insurance the government wants them to buy, regardless of what the citizens themselves prefer. The Constitution gave the federal government no such power, but the Supreme Court did it by citing the government's power to tax, even though the Obamacare law did not claim to be taxing. This year, Obamacare's decision likewise ignored the actual words of the law and decided that the decisions of 34 states not to participate in Obamacare exchanges, even to get federal subsidies, would have prevented those federal subsidies to be paid anyway to exchanges up by the federal government itself. When any branch of government can exercise powers not authorized by other statutes or the Constitution, we the people are no longer free citizens but subjects, and our public servants are really our public masters. And America is no longer America. The freedom for which whole generations of Americans have fought and died is gradually but increasingly being taken away from us with smooth and slippery words. This decision makes next year's choice of the next President of the United States more crucial than ever, because with that the office goes the power to nominate justices of the Supreme Court. Democrats have consistently nominated people who shared their social vision and opposed their policy preferences, too often in disregard of the Constitution. Republicans have complained about it, but when the power of judicial appointments was in the hands of Republican presidents, they have too often appointed justices who participated in the dismantling of the Constitution, and usually for the kinds of social policies preferred by Democrats. Chief justices appointed by the Republican presidents have made landmark decisions for which there was neither constitutional authority nor either evidence or logic. The first was Earl Warren. When Chief Justice Warren said that separate educational facilities are inherently unequal, he was within walking distance of an all-black public high school that sent a higher percentage of its graduates on to college than any white public school in Washington. As far back as 1899, that school's students scored higher on tests than two of the city's three white academic public high schools. Nevertheless, Chief Justice Warren substantiated assumptions led to the years of school busing across the country that was as racially divided as it was educationally futile. Chief Justice Warren Burger, also appointed by a Republican president, gave us the disparate impact notion that statistical disparities imply discrimination. That notion has created a whole statistical shakedown racket practiced by government itself and by private race hustlers alike. And now Chief Justice Roberts, appointed by George W. Bush, gives us the federal government the power to order us to buy whatever insurance they want us to buy. With that entering wedge, is there anything they cannot force us to do, regardless of the Constitution? Can the Republicans or the country afford to put another mushy moderate in the White House who can appoint more mushy moderates to the Supreme Court? Well, if you've been viewing me for a while, first of all, that was extremely well written. And I hope you enjoyed hearing it as much as I enjoyed reading it. Do you know who the next Supreme Court justice is going to be? Anyone want to wager that it'll be the less than honorable dirtbag Attorney General, who was the Attorney General, Eric H. Holder Jr., huh? The Chief Justice, or the Justice, Ruth Ginsberg, she's a batty old bag. She needs to be put into a home. She will resign her position relatively soon. And the chosen one, Barack Hussein Obama, will put the less than honorable dirtbag Attorney General Eric H. Holder Jr. onto the Supreme Court. Anyone want to wager against me? And you know what? This corrupt, dysfunctional Senate, headed by Harry Reid's cohort, Mitch McConnell, will approve the nomination of the less than honorable dirtbag Eric H. Holder Jr. He will become a Supreme Court justice. Folks, have you sort of noticed when we're ordered to buy things we don't need, people that have Obamacare, men, have birth control, have mammogram tests available to them? The whole thing's insane. Obamacare does not work. It was created illegally. The Supreme Court justices, they're off for 3 months. Who gets 3 months vacation? The Supreme Court justices get 3 months vacation. The whole system is a corrupt sewer. Your congressional representatives are supposed to be in session 110, 115 days a year. They don't read the damn bills. What the hell do they do? You know what they do? They travel around the country and around the world, first class at your expense. That's what they do. And the only time they kiss your ass is just before an election. That's what they do. I heard that senator from Arizona saying it was such an honor to run for the Oval Office. They only picked that dirtbag because he's a dirtbag and they knew he couldn't win. They knew that he wouldn't talk about Obama's heritage where he was born, because where he was born was dubious at best as well. The whole system's a sewer. You've got to start all over again. And I've said this in countless videos. The red states need to band together. Kiss the blue states goodbye. Piss on them. We don't need them. We don't need them. All they do is pull the rest of the country down into the sewer they're already in. The red states need to get together and we need to form a new government. We can use what we had as a model, but with major tweaks. Term limits. We have to have term limits on both the senators and the congressmen. 2 terms, and you're hasta la vista, and you don't get a retirement package. You didn't grab that golden ring going around the merry-go-round. You go back and do whatever the hell you're doing before you stole an office. 2 terms. You go beyond that, you end up with guys like Jeffrey the Flake Flake. 10 years as a congressman. The whole thing is insane. How many people do you think went into Congress, went into the Senate, that were not very wealthy when they went in? And now they're worth 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 million dollars. How do you think that happens? We've got a congressman here in Arizona. He had a foreclosure before he went in. He's been in, I think, 13 years. And I did a video on him. He's worth, what, $38 million? How the hell does that happen? It's called corruption. That's what it's called. And the longer these dirtbags are allowed to stay in power, the more corrupt they become. Obamacare is a joke. This whole gay marriage thing's insane. Elena Kagan should never have been allowed to have been involved in the vote, nor should that dingbat Ruth Ginsberg. They both officiated at gay weddings. What the hell's wrong with this country to put up with this crap? And you got that crack-smoking, dopehead, homosexual, Islamic extremist Muslim in the White House saying how wonderful it was to see the White House ablaze in rainbow colors. It's nuts! I just did a video on Obama when he was at Saddleback Church talking to Pastor Rick Warren saying that he is against gay marriage. What he said, and I've got it right here, I believe that marriage is a union between a man and a woman. For me as a Christian, what a joke is a Christian. It is also a sacred union with God in the mix. God in the mix of what? You're not a Christian. You're a Muslim Arab. God damn it, how stupid can the American people really be to put up with this crap? Justice Roberts? Look at what he's done to this country. Harry Reid? Look what he's done to this country. He should go to prison for what he did by doing a switch with the documents. The Speaker of the House, what did he do? Should he not have said to Harry Reid, that's not what I gave you? I gave you a tax credit for military housing? He didn't say a damn word. And these senators that voted didn't even read the bill. Pelosi said, what did she say? We've got to sign this so we can learn what's in it? You got Jonathan Gruber saying the American people are stupid and they knew that we were stupid so they could pull this crap on us. The way Obamacare is written, nobody could understand it anyway. Look at section 12, page 18. Refer you to section 27, page 24. That refers you to another page. It was designed that way. But hey, you think anybody gives a damn? No, they don't care. I don't know why I care. I guess I care because people like the one that wrote what I just finished rattling off, they care. We have become slaves. Obama has done a switcheroony. The blacks are in power against the whites. We are slaves to them. That's why he's appointed so many blacks and Muslims throughout his cabinet. The whole thing is sickening. Barack Obama. He's a usurper. He never should have been in the Oval Office. Nancy Pelosi put that dirtbag there. President of the United States. Floppy-eared, crack-smoking homosexual. Islamic extremist Arab Muslim. He can't even say the two words, Islamic extremist. Anyway, I think I've said more than I needed to say. Nobody cares anyway. Well, some do. Most don't. That's what I think.